I died, choking on a sip of champagne that tasted like battery acid, my vision blurring as the room spun into a kaleidoscope of tuxedos and taffeta gowns. My son's new wife, Lila, with her perfect teeth and predatory smile, leaned in close, her breath hot against my ear. You should have stayed out of it.
Piper.
Now watch your family crumble from the other side. And just like that, the lights went out, my heart seizing in a betrayal so deep it echoed even in death.
But death,
it turns out, is just a shitty intermission. I woke up gasping in my own bed 6 months earlier, the date on my nightstand confirming the impossible. I'd been given a do-over, a chance to claw back everything she'd stolen. The first thing I did was puke my guts out. Not from poison this time, but from the raw terror of remembering. My name is Piper Hayes, and at 52, I'd built a life in the cutthroat suburbs of Greenwich, Connecticut, where old money whispers louder than screams. I'd clawed my way up from a trailer park in Ohio after my husband,
Tom,
died in that accident 20 years ago, his car plunging off a bridge, ruled a suicide. But I'd always known better. Tom had been dipping into the family trust, skimming from his father's real estate empire, and someone wanted him gone. I buried the suspicions, raised our son Ethan alone, poured every dime into his Ivy League dreams. And for what? So Lila could waltz in, all Southern belle charm and hidden venom, and dismantle it all. That morning, staring at my reflection, crow's feet softer now, no gray streaks in my auburn bob, yet I vowed revenge. Not the sloppy, Lifetime movie kind with pitchforks and bad dialogue. No, this would be surgical, American as apple pie laced with arsenic. Expose her, ruin her, make her beg for the mercy she never showed. Lila wasn't just a gold digger, she was a ghost from Tom's past. A secret I'd unearthed too late in my first life. She'd been his mistress, the one who'd whispered lies that pushed him over the edge, literally.
And now,
she was gunning for Ethan, my boy, the only good thing I'd ever done right. I started small, testing the waters of this second chance. Ethan was 28, fresh out of Yale Law, interning at a firm in Manhattan that reeked of entitlement. He'd met Lila at a charity gala 6 months from now, or rather, 3 months ago in this timeline, where she'd played the wide-eyed paralegal from Savannah, all drawl and dimples. In my old life, I'd welcomed her, blind to the way her eyes lingered on the Hayes family photos, calculating. This time, I'd be the storm cloud over their meet-cute. First stop, the gym. I'd let myself go in the first run, stress eating through the grief of Tom's death anniversary, but now, I hit the treadmill like it owed me money. Sweat stung my eyes as I pounded out the rage, visualizing Lila's smug face crumpling. By noon, I was in my home office, a sunlit nook overlooking the manicured lawn, digging through old boxes I'd ignored for decades. There it was, Tom's battered leather journal, pages yellowed like forgotten sins. I'd found it after his funeral, skimmed the confessions of his affair, the debts, the threats from shadowy investors. But I'd burned the evidence, too scared to rock the boat for Ethan's sake. Cowardice. My old friend. Not anymore. I scanned every page, digitized it on my laptop, encrypted the files under passwords only I'd remember, Ethan forever and Tom lied. Then I called my lawyer, Marlene, a shark in pearls who'd handled Tom's estate. Piper. Honey, you sound like you've seen a ghost, she drawled over the line. I laughed. Brittle.
Worse.
I need a trust amendment. Ironclad. If Ethan marries without my blessing, the family assets freeze. She didn't question it. In Greenwich, prenups were prenups with teeth. Ethan came home that weekend, all broad shoulders and boyish grin, dumping his gym bag in the foyer like he still lived here. "Mom, you look different. Glow up." He hugged me tight, smelling of cedar cologne and possibility. My heart cracked open. God, I'd missed this version of him, unscarred by her lies. We grilled steaks on the deck, the Hudson River glittering in the distance, and I probed gently. "Dating anyone?" He shrugged, cheeks flushing. "Met this girl at the gala last week. Lila. Smart as hell. From Georgia. You'd like her." I forced a smile, slicing into my ribeye like it was her throat. "Tell me everything."
He did.
Gushing about her laugh, her ambition, how she got the pressure of big law life. I nodded, filing away details. Her firm, Kensington and Locke, a mid-tier player with ties to Tom's old real estate cronies. By dessert, cheesecake I'd baked from scratch. No shortcuts. I'd planted the seed. Just be careful.
Kiddo.
Love's a battlefield, and some soldiers play dirty. He rolled his eyes, but the word stuck. I saw it in the way he texted her less that night. Weeks blurred into a calculated dance. I volunteered at Ethan's firm, charming the partners with my widow's wisdom on estate planning, really, scouting Lila's desk when she stepped out for coffee. Her cubicle was a shrine to faux sophistication, framed sorority pics, a Savannah skyline poster, and buried under invoices, a dog-eared photo of her with Tom. Grainy. From '03, arms linked at a beach bar. Bingo. Heart pounding. I snapped it with my phone, then slipped out before the caffeine wore off. But Lila was no fool. She sensed the shift, started cozying up harder. Invites to brunches, accidental run-ins at the country club where I played bridge with the Blue Bloods. At one such event, under the vaulted ceilings of the Greenwich Polo Club, she cornered me by the bar. Sundress hugging her curves, blonde waves cascading like a shampoo ad. She extended a manicured hand. "Mrs. Hayes, Piper, right? Ethan raves about you. I'm Lila Montgomery." Thrilled to finally meet. Her grip was firm, eyes appraising me like a rival listing. I shook back, channeling Ice Queen Realtor from my pre-widow days. "Lila, Ethan's mentioned you. Paralegal life treating you well?" She laughed, a tinkling bell that grated. "It's a grind, but worth it for nights like this." We small-talked weather, wine, the club's latest scandal, a hedge funder caught with the pool boy. But underneath, it was war, her probing my net worth, me dropping hints about family skeletons best left buried. That night, alone with a glass of Cabernet, I pieced it together. Tom's journal mentioned Ellen, the mistress who'd bled him dry, then vanished after the crash. Lila Montgomery. She'd resurfaced, older but sharper, targeting Ethan to finish what she started, claim the Hayes fortune through marriage, bury any loose ends. In my first life, she'd succeeded, poisoned me at the wedding reception, framed it as a heart attack from stress, then gaslit Ethan into doubting his memories. He'd spiraled, lost the firm, ended up a shell in her shadow. No more. I hired a PI, discreet as a shadow, ex-FBI, owed me from Tom's case. Dig deep.
Carl.
Financials, priors, the works. His report landed a month later. Lila's trail of bounce checks from Atlanta dives. A sealed juvie record for fraud. And whispers of involvement in Tom's suicide. A witness recanting after a payoff. The photo? Confirmed. Her with Tom. Weeks before the plunge. She wasn't just a homewrecker. She was a black widow. Spinning webs across decades. Ethan proposed anyway. The idiot. Over dinner at Le Bernardine. Candles flickering like bad omens. He slid the ring across the linen, 3 carats. Heirloom from my grandmother.
Mom.
Say yes. Lila sat beside him, beaming, but her eyes flicked to me. Your move. I swallowed the bile. Raised my glass. To new beginnings. But let's talk prenup first, practicality over romance. The air thickened. She excused herself to the ladies, and I followed. In the marble-tiled powder room, mirrors multiplying our reflections into an army of suspects. She whirled on me. You don't like me?
Do you? Piper?
Think I'm after your precious legacy. Her voice dropped. Venomous whisper.
Nusefelish, etans mine.
And if you push, I'll make sure you're served last at the wedding. In life. Everywhere. It was the echo of my deathbed words. A chill slithering down my spine. But this time, I was armed. I leaned in, breath steady. Sweetheart, you have no idea who you're playing with. Tom thought the same until he didn't. Her face paled. Just a flicker. But enough. She knew I knew. The gauntlet was thrown. The wedding planning became my battlefield. Lila wanted Versailles-level extravagance. St. Regis Ballroom. String quartet.
Acá catalletan sensa.
I countered with tradition, my family's Unitarian chapel in Darien. A modest reception at the house. Ethan mediated. Torn. But I wore him down with tales of Grandma Hayes' simple joy. Lila seethed in group texts. Passive-aggressive emojis masking her fury. Can't wait for the intimate vibe.
Piper. So.
Quaint. Behind the scenes, I moved chess pieces. Amended the trust. Lila got zilch without my sign-off. Leaked the PI report anonymously to her firm. Nothing criminal. Just enough to tank her promotion. Carl tailed her. Snapping pics of late-night meets with a sleazy attorney who handled discreet settlements. Blackmail fodder. Stacking like cordwood. But revenge isn't clean. It carves out pieces of you. Nights. I'd wake sweating. Tom's journal mocking me from the nightstand. Had I caused this? By hiding his sins. I'd let the poison fester. Handed Lila the map to our veins. Ethan noticed. Cornered me in the kitchen one dawn. Coffee steaming between us. Mom, what's with the vendetta? Lila says you're hostile. His eyes. So like Tom's, pleading. Hurt. I almost broke. Confessed everything. The affair. The crash. My murder. Instead, I lied. Just protecting you, baby. Mothers do that. He hugged me, whispering, I love her.
Though.
My world tilted. Was I the villain now? Sabotaging his happiness for ghosts? The doubt gnawed. A controversial choice looming. Expose Lila publicly? Shatter Ethan's heart? Or play the long game? Risk her striking first? At my son's wedding I was served last. Her whisper triggered a lesson she'll never forget. Continued, File 2. The engagement party was my first real test. A sweltering July affair at the Southampton Beach House. Neutral ground. Or so Ethan thought. 200 guests, his law bros in seersucker. her sorority sisters air-kissing like vipers. I'd decked the place in hydrangeas and fairy lights. But the air hummed with undercurrents, champagne flutes clinking like loaded guns. Lila glided through in a sheathed dress the color of sea glass, Ethan's arm possessive around her waist. She caught my eye across the patio, toasting silently, game on. I played hostess flawless, circulating with trays of oysters and old vines Zinfandel, eavesdropping like a pro. Her friends cooed over the ring, his warned of trophy wife vibes. By the oyster bar, I overheard Gold, one of her bridesmaids, tipsy on Rose, muttering about Lila's ex in Atlanta, total psycho. But she handled it. Handled how? I filed it, smiling through gritted teeth. Ethan pulled me aside near the fire pit, flames licking the dusk.
Mom.
Truce? For me? His plea twisted the knife. I'd raised him to trust his gut. Not mine. Always.
Kiddo.
But if she hurts you. He squeezed my hand. She won't. Famous last words. Lila struck that night. As fireworks burst over the Atlantic, red, white, and blue for irony, she sidled up during the bouquet toss. Women shrieked, leaping like caffeinated gazelles. I hung back, feigning disinterest. She tripped, elbow jabbing my ribs sharp enough to bruise. Oops. Piper. Clumsy me. Then, under cover of applause, her whisper, back off, or Ethan learns about Daddy's little secret. The one you buried with him. My blood iced. Tom's embezzlement, $2 million siphoned from his father's firm. Enough to jail us both if exposed. I'd covered it. Paid it back anonymously from life insurance. Shielded Ethan from shame. How did she know? Tom's journal. Had she stolen a copy? Or worse? Been there. Egging him on? I wrenched away, gasping. But the damage was done. Doubt crept in. Was my revenge just projecting old guilt? I retreated to the library. A mahogany cocoon of leather-bound lies. Splashing bourbon neat. Carl called then. Voice gravelo. Boss. Got a hit. Lila's ex. A mark she conned. Forged docs. Drained his accounts. Dropped charges after a settlement. Pattern matches Tom's crash. Witness intimidation. Payoffs. Proof. Cold and hard. But using it meant dragging Ethan into the mud. Public records. Headlines. Heiress's son in gold digger scandal. Controversial? Hell. It was nuclear. The next months were a pressure cooker. Wedding invites went out October 15th. St. Regis after all. Lila's win. Dress fittings turned catty. Her in custom Monique Louillier. Me in off-the-rack Vera Wong. Budget conscious, she'd sneered. Bridal showers dripped passive aggression, gifts wrapped in tissue paper barbs. I countered with leaks, tipped a gossip blog about her firm's ethics review, watched her LinkedIn go dark. Ethan drifted.
Calls sparse.
Texts curt. Lila says you're stressed. Take a spa day. Spa day, right? Because mud masks fix matricide. I doubled down. Anonymous emails to her pastor back in Savannah. Ask about the Montgomery girls' miracle inheritance.
Petty? Sure.
But in America's heartland of hypocrisy, stones fly from glass houses. Then the twist that nearly broke me, a prenatal test. No, wait. Not that. A letter from Tom's old firm, forwarded by Marlene. Unopened in my first life. It arrived now. Postmarked 04, regarding the incident with T. Hayes, new evidence suggests foul play. Contact if interested in reopening. Foul play. My hands shook, tearing the envelope. Inside, a deposition draft from a mechanic who'd tampered with Tom's brakes. Paid off by Kensington and Locke, Lila's firm. Even then, she'd been pulling strings. A 20-something puppeteer in pigtails. Rage boiled over. I confronted Carl. Full court press. Subpoena everything. He hesitated. Piper. This goes public. Ethan's career tanks. You sure? The decision loomed. Controversial as hell. Sacrifice my son's future to avenge the past? Or let Lila win? A poison spreading to the next generation? I paced my kitchen till dawn. Hudson fog rolling in like Judgment Day. Ethan called the next week. Voice cracking.
Mom.
We need to talk. Lila. She showed me emails. From you? Digging into her past. Busted. My PI's trail had leaked, her counterhack.
Probably.
Ethan. Listen, he cut me off. It's over. The wedding's off if you don't stop. Off. Elation warred with grief. I'd won. But at what cost? Baby. She's dangerous. Tom, silence. Then a click.
Dead air.
Lila pounced, showing up unannounced that afternoon. Ethan's key in hand, his house. Now hers. She lounged on my sofa, legs crossed like a therapy session gone wrong. Piper. Let's cut the crap. You think you're protecting him? You're destroying him. Her eyes gleamed. Crocodile tears prepped. I love Tom, still do.
In a way.
He was weak.
But you.
You let him drown in debt. Covered it up. Hypocrite. I laughed.
Bitter.
Loved him? You killed him. Brakes cut. Witnesses bought. And me? Champagne flute at the reception. Your signature move. Her facade cracked. Just a hair. Proof. I slid the deposition across the coffee table.
This.
And more where it came from. She scanned it. Baling. Then recovered with a shrug. Circumstantial. But if it goes public. She trailed off. The threat implicit. Ethan's name dragged through tabloids. Heiress mom accused of cover-up in hubby's death. Checkmate. We stared. Two widows in a den of lies. The room thick with unspoken deals. Walk away, I said finally. Leave him. And it stays buried. She smirked. Standing. Or what? You poison me next. The door clicked shut behind her. But not before her parting shot. See you at the altar. Mother dearest. Sleep evaded me that night. Ghosts circling. Was revenge worth the rot? Tom's voice echoed from memory. Piper. Some secrets are cages. But cages could be picked. By morning, I decided. Full exposure. Controversial. Yes, ruin us all to save him. I drafted the affidavit. Fingers flying. Tom's fraud. Lila's complicity. My cover-up. Marlene reviewed it over Zoom. Face grim. This'll nuke the family name. Sure. Surer than death, I replied. The rehearsal dinner loomed. A powder keg in penguin suits. Rehearsal at the chapel. Dinner at Del Frisco's, steaks and sides. Tension on the menu. Ethan was a zombie. Chain smoking outside when I arrived. Bowtie askew.
Mom.
I broke it off. For good. Relief flooded me. Then guilt, he'd chosen blind. Why? He crushed the butt under his loafer. Found her emails. To that attorney, blackmailing Dad's old partners. For us.
Us.
The twist gutted me. She'd targeted Ethan not just for money, but revenge on me. For stealing Tom. For surviving when he didn't. Her whisper at the party? A confession wrapped in threat. Ethan hugged me, whispering, I should have listened sooner. We walked in together, arm in arm. The prodigal son returned. Lila was there. Of course. Couldn't resist the drama. Seated at the head table, she rose as we entered, glass raised in mock toast. To family, she purred, eyes on me. The room hushed, forks pausing midair. Ethan tensed beside me, but I stepped forward, voice steady as steel. Actually, to truths. Lila, care to tell Ethan about Tom? Or should I? Gasps rippled, her knuckles whitened on the stemware. Piper. Don't, too late. I laid it out, the affair, the breaks, the payoffs. Not shouting, just facts. American justice style, evidence first, emotions later. Phones emerged. Recording, whispers turned to murmurs. She bolted, chair scraping like nails on chalkboard. But security, my call, discreet, escorted her out. Chaos erupted. Questions, tears, Ethan's hand in mine like an anchor. You knew? All this time? I nodded, tears hot. And I fixed it.
For you.
By dessert, creme brulee untouched, the police arrived, tipped by Marlene. Not for arrest yet, but statements. Lila's empire crumbled in real time, firm suspension. Savannah headlines brewing.
Me?
Exposed as the cover-upper. But in Greenwich, skeletons make you relatable. The trust held. Ethan walked away unscathed. Stronger. End of file, 2 to 998 words. At my son's wedding I was served last. Her whisper triggered a lesson she'll never forget. Continued, file 3. The wedding, that farce of a wedding, happened anyway. Or what was left of it. 2 weeks post-rehearsal blowout. Ethan insisted. Not for her.
Mom.
For us. Closure. A pared-down affair. 50 guests tops. Chapel stripped of lilies. Reception at the house with catering from a food truck, tacos. Ironic twist on fusion. No Lila. Of course, she'd vanished into witness protection whispers. Her firm's lawyers circling like sharks scenting blood. I stood at the altar in my Vera Wang. Simpler now. Ethan beside me in a rented tux that fit like hope renewed. His bride? Not her. Emily. A quiet litigator from his firm, brunette. Bookish. The anti-Lila. They'd bonded over the scandal. Late nights poring over depositions. She gets it, he'd said. No games. I walked him down the aisle. Our arms linked. The organ swelling with Pachelbel's canon, cheesy. But earned. Vows exchanged. Rings slipped on. And as they kissed to polite applause, I exhaled a decade's worth of poison. The reception sprawled across the lawn, string lights twinkling against October chill. Heaters humming. Laughter genuine for once. Tacos passed hand to hand. Craft IPAs flowing freer than tears. Emily's toast nailed it. To second chances. May we all get one when we need it most. Ethan pulled me aside by the fire pit. Emily dancing with her cousins in the distance. Mom. About Dad. The fraud. I get why you hid it. But thank you for fighting now.
His eyes. Clear.
Held no blame. We clinked bottles. The Hudson a silver ribbon under moonlight. To us, he said. Always. But closure's a myth. Ghosts linger. As guests mingled, my phone buzzed. Carl. Terse. Lila surfaced. Atlanta PD picked her up. Tampering with evidence in an old case, yours.
Tom's.
The breaks. The payoff. It unraveled overnight. Her as the linchpin. No trial for me. Immunity for the cover-up. Spun as grieving widow's error. Her, facing counts. Manslaughter. Fraud. Conspiracy. The news hit TMZ by dawn. Eris's ex-fiancé in murder plot shock. The real high came weeks later. Ethan and Emily's honeymoon cut short by a call from Marlene. Settlement. Piper. From the firm, Kensington. 6 figures. Apology letter included. For Tom.
Justice.
Delayed but dollar sweet. I donated half to a women's shelter in Ohio. The rest to Ethan's firm startup, Hayes and Partners. No more shadows. Lila's lesson? Delivered in a courtroom sketch I clipped from the Times. Her in orange. Hair limp. No drawl to save her. She'd whispered threats. I'd roared truths. And in the end, served last, that was her plate cold. Guests gone. Echoes of her own venom.
Me?
I live quieter now. Greenwich still whispering. But I whisper back. Second chances aren't gifts. They're grenades. Pull the pin. Reshape the world. Ethan calls weekly. Emily's voice chiming in. Love you. Piper. And on quiet nights, Tom's journal burns in the fireplace. Ashes scattering like forgiven sins. But here's the twist that haunts my dreams. In that powder room stare down, Lila's eyes held not just hate, but pity. You think you won? She'd murmured. Tom chose me first.
Piper.
Always will. Was it bluff? Or truth? Did my revenge unearth a love I'd never matched? The doubt lingers. A controversial scar. Did I save Ethan? Or just delay my own unraveling?
Nah. Screw that.
I raised a glass to the mirror that morning. To the woman who died choking but woke swinging. To lessons I toasted. Hers and mine. And damn if it didn't taste like victory. The end?
Hell.
In America. It's just intermission too. But for now, the Hayes house stands tall. Lights on. Doors open. No more last servings, only seconds. Savored slow.